fairly good turnout.
We were just over about 1 million fairgoers.
OC Fair's Terry Moore says it wasn't a record for attendance, but guest experience is the fair's new measurement for success.
For the first time ever, we had a limited capacity, and so that meant we had some sold-out days, and that also gave fairgoers a little bit more elbow room.
She says for the first time, 16 of the 23 days were sold out, along with 2.5 million carnival rides, 100 semi-trailers full of stuffed toys, and more than 75,000 fresh-baked chocolate chip cookies. In Orange County, Corbin Carson, KFI News.
Let's check your drive on the 10.
All right, you betcha. Good morning. Thanks for letting us ride along with you. As always, I can assure you the sun has risen. It's going to take a while for you to see it. We got a world-class marine layer working this morning. The West 10, Santa Monica Freeway off to a very predictable start. Hopefully you allow for this every single morning, but it's just real slow. Unfortunately, we're getting word now of a problem westbound at Cloverfield. That's west of the 405, out going out towards the Port Zone. So just be a heads up. Sun Valley now, San Fernando Valley, South 5 at the South 170 split. Right lane was blocked for a long time, making things slow coming down from Osborne, especially in those right lanes going to the 170. Hopefully that is cleared by now. But going through Yorba Linda is still a serious problem if you just joined us. First, eastbound 91 Imperial, that's past 55. Right lanes have been open, fast track's still closed, the east 91 is backed up to the 57. Now that's bad enough, but the westbound drive was worse. Good news for the westbound side. All lanes have been open, including the fast track. However, it's really a crawl coming away from the 15, but I think once you start getting close to the 241, finally, things will start moving for you. And then finally, the westbound 210 now, approaching Irmdale in the 605. There was a problem in lanes that is cleared. It's just typically slow, unfortunately. North 57, the west 210. Once you get past 605, things improve a little bit. Engine and accident. Visit Superwoman, superlawyer.com. Jeff KFI in the sky.
Have you been denied a home loan or refinance because you're self-employed, earn 1099 income, or even a real estate investor? You're missing out. Most lenders make approval seem impossible, especially if you're self-employed. Stop watching everyone take advantage of the lowest mortgage rates in history while you're stuck on the sidelines. Accelerate Capital, the premier lender designed for the self-employed. Our approval process is based on common sense, using bank statements, 1099 income, profit loss statements, rental income, or even stated income to qualify at the lowest rates available. Fast. Conventional lenders cannot do this. When others say no, we say yes. Call 800-811-9702, 800-811-9702, or visit acceleratecapital.com.
EXCELE, acceleratecapital.com.
Equal housing lender. Call for details. NMLS ID number 1165716. Not all will qualify. California DFPI license number 41DDO45150. Additional restrictions may apply. Loans made or arranged pursuant to the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act.
Hey, it's Dean Sharp. I am so proud that since Duffy Power came to KFI, lots of homes like yours now have emergency backup power. It's an incredibly smart and affordable thing to do. Okay, but the pandemic has everything in short supply, so right now, my best generator advice is don't wait. Call Duffy today so they can make sure your life won't be interrupted during the next outage. Dial pound 250 on your cell and say Duffy Power. Pound 250 Duffy Power, or find them on the web at duffypower.com.
Your KFI Financial Report is brought to you by Bay Alarm. The Dow is down 330, S&P down 34, NASDAQ dropping 147, and the average price of a gallon of unleaded gas in California is $4.41.
The KFI Money Report is brought to you by Bay Alarm, now offering virtual security consultations using your mobile phone. Visit bayalarm.com to get protected today.
Sunny today with highs from the low 70s at the beaches, mid-80s for Metro LA and Orange County, mid to upper 90s for the valleys and the IE. Right now it's 69 in Dana Point, 70 in Fullerton, 67 in Encino, 65 in Pacific Palisades. We lead local, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee.
Got the fear of the underdog. That's why you will not survive.
KFI AM 640, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Good morning, it's the Bill Handel Show. Where is Bill? Bill is at home recovering from heart valve replacement surgery, and it was an open chest procedure. Don't worry, Jen, I won't go into the graphic details this time.
Thank you.
But it's a big deal, is my point, so it takes some time to recover from something like that. But he's doing good. He's recovering as expected. Now, Anybody who knew anything about the situation in Afghanistan knew that what happened over the weekend was going to happen, which is to say, an entire country's military, police force, and civil government vanishing. And the Taliban not having to use very much in the way of violence to make it happen. Here's the rub, though. I say anybody who knew what was going on over there would have known. A lot of people who could have known and maybe should have known didn't know. And I'm mostly talking about you and me. Because it turns out that the people on the inside of this decades-long mission to equip and train the Afghan military so that they could have a functioning civil government, the people inside of it knew pretty much the whole time that it was doomed. But we didn't. Because we were lied to. Again and again and again. Let us rewind the time machine about 10 years. Summer 2011, Lieutenant General William Caldwell IV goes around making public appearances. For example, speaking to the Council on Foreign Relations in June of that year and other places, talking about the incredible progress that we are making with the Afghan military. Quote, we've made tremendous strides, incredible progress. They're probably the best trained, the best equipped, and the best led of any forces we've developed yet. They only continue to get better with time. The Afghan military is like a bottle of Merlot. And he wasn't the only guy going around pushing this narrative. This was the common refrain coming out of our government, that it was going like gangbusters over there, that boy, oh boy, those Afghans, they are at the top of their form, they're learning it quickly, they are so good. There were people saying that basically the Afghan military rivals that of the United States of America. That's how good they are, which is really all about us trying to say how good we are. Underneath that narrative is this idea that we are so amazing that, of course, if we go over there, they're going to become amazing. Our amazingness is going to rub off on them. How could it not? Here's how it could not and did not. Because here is what we now know were some fundamental truths about the effort to train the military in Afghanistan. Number one, the best estimate, the most generous estimate, is that 5% of the Afghan military recruits could read at a third grade level. These were people who were largely illiterate, couldn't count. There's a guy who was working over there who tells a story about, you'd ask a guy, how many brothers and sisters do you have? And they would say, well, I have, John and Tim and Linda and Sharon. But they couldn't say, I have 4 brothers and sisters. Here's the other thing. We tried to train them as if they were like us. In other words, we brought a Western military training and structure approach to a place where the people, they're not wired that way. And there's an incident which, if all of this wasn't so terrible, if we hadn't spent so much money and lost so many lives, the incident I'm going to tell you about might be comical. It might even be something that you see in a comedy movie, except that it's not really funny at all because of the context. But there's a guy and he's trying to work with this platoon to teach them, this was the training exercise, how to get out of a CH-47 Chinook helicopter. But they didn't have one of those helicopters to use, to train. So the guy sets up a row of folding chairs, and he's trying to teach the Afghans how to get out of a helicopter by using rows of folding chairs. And they're doing it, but then two of the Afghan recruits start arguing with each other. One of them picks up one of the folding chairs and bashes the other guy in the face, and it turns into a brawl. These Afghan recruits are now all fighting with each other. So the guy who's running the exercise, Major Mark Glaspell, he just goes, I'm just going to let them fight until they get tired out. That is not something that you would ever hear about in a training here in the United States. But that's the kind of, that's how different, fundamentally, the society is and the people are. And I don't mean they're different in ways that make them less human or that they don't love their children and they're not capable of great compassion and they're not intelligent, the ones who are educated. But there is a fundamental difference, and we tried to apply our template in a place where it didn't work. So the point is this. For just about the last 20 years, from just about when we first went in there after 9/11, the people on the inside knew that at best it was going to be an incredible, almost insurmountable task to whip that country into shape so that we could leave it and it would still stand. And it turned out to be an insurmountable task. And my point is this. That all happened at the same time as inside they were like, oh my God, this is never going to work. They were publicly telling us that it was fantastic. All right, let's get a news update from Jennifer Jones-Lee, and then a little bit of a timeline. President Biden at Camp David thought he was going to get a vacation. That is not what he got. And how they handled this whole thing, apparently in reverse order of what any sane person would do. This is KFI AM 640, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
The Las Vegas Raiders say fans at their home games will have to show proof of vaccination against COVID-19. Vegas is the first NFL team to bring in the requirement. The Atlanta Falcons say they are the first NFL team to have every player fully vaccinated against COVID-19. The team says many players got the shots during a practice and preseason game earlier this month. An award-winning singer The Weeknd has broken another record. His hit, Blinding Lights, is now the longest-charting song on the Billboard Hot 100. We'll take a look at your drive with VKFI in the Sky next.
Southern California is termite central. Why? Well, like you, they love the weather, they love the soil, and of course the houses are made out of wood. So you put all that together and you've got termites that love us. And they'll happily eat your house. So let me suggest protecting your house with a free home inspection from Pacific Coast Termite. Even if you don't know if you have termites, it's worthwhile. And if you do, they come and treat. They do it without tenting, double bag your food, pet sitting. You can even be home when they deal with those termites. Mention KFI, 10% off termite treatments, 2-year guarantee on all of their work. Call 800-PACIFIC, 800-PACIFIC. That's PacificCoastTermite.com. Call 800-PACIFIC.
Pacific Coast Termite kills termites.
The clean, friendly way.
Opening back up. You check the news, you check with your friends, you check your map. But wait, did you check your brush? Get Smart Mouth, the only mouthwash that provides 24 hours of fresh breath with just 2 rinses a day. Find Smart Mouth in the mouthwash aisle at CVS or get 20% off at smartmouth.com/radio.
SoCal weather from KFI. Sunny today. Highs will range from the low 70s at the beaches to the upper 90s inland. This report is brought to you by Smart Mouth, the only 24-hour mouthwash with twice daily use. Let's take a look at that drive on the 101.
You betcha. Pretty good report coming up now. If you just joined us, good morning. Thank you. Coming out of Thousand Oaks, Calabasas, into the San Fernando Valley, all as well. Now, from Topanga Canyon over towards 405, it's getting a little slow, but there are really no major problems to worry about. Everybody's spaced out, believe it or not, meaning spaced between vehicles. I'm sorry, that didn't sound right. But spaced in between vehicles, and everybody's moving along. And look at Topanga, that looked good. We could only see it to Fernwood. That's all covered with fog after that. But driving through Yorba Linda, my goodness, we just on as soon as that terrible crash. It actually happened eastbound 91 and Imperial. Still have the fast track lanes there with a backup to the 57. La Palma will help, by the way. You go to the Imperial on-ramp, that'll get you around it. But westbound, all lanes are open, including the fast track. But it's a crawl, really, coming away from the 15. Once you get close to the 71, finally, things will start moving for you. And back in San Fernando Valley now, we're headed up towards Newhall again. There's an earlier problem reported 5 to the east 210. And South 5 around the 118 is just super slow to earlier stuff. We'll check it all out for you. If you headed that way, you stick with us. Injured in an accident, visit superwomansuperlawyer.com. Jeff Baugh, KFI in the sky.
This report is sponsored by Napa Auto Parts. Whether it's offering curbside or next-day delivery for online orders on over 160,000 parts or getting involved in their local communities, when it comes to serving you, Napa's motor never quits. That's Napa know-how.
Thank you for calling Zero Res.
Do you guys get out of carpet?
Yes, sir. We specialize in removing that from carpet. Is there a lot?
Yeah, I did it myself with one of those rental machines, but it left everywhere. Now the carpet's stiff and crunchy.
Don't worry, sir. Zero Res can clean that up.
At Zero Res, shampoo is a dirty word. Only Zero Res cleans without shampoos and detergents, so your carpets are left soft and fluffy like the day they were installed. Book your cleaning today at ZeroSoCal.com.
So how are those Solar Max panels treating you?
Wonderfully. I don't get to see them much because they're on the top of the house. But I'm saving money and I keep cool in the summer heat because Solar Max does everything under one roof right here in SoCal. I get the best service.
And Solar Max has an exciting new offer right now. The Tesla 420 panels and power walls for $79.96 per month and zero down.
Dial pound 250 on your cell phone and say the keyword Solar Max, pound 250 and say Solar Max, or go to solarmaxtech.com. Monthly payment available on approved credits. I guess will be number 97204.
Attention homeowners. Interactive Mortgage has dropped rates again to a rock bottom 1.75% rate in APR. Yes, it's incredible. A rock bottom 1.75%. And if that's not enough, Interactive Mortgage will even pay your title, escrow, and appraisal fees. That's right, no point and no fees. Absolutely zero. Zilch. None. So what are you waiting for? Call now and take advantage of these never-before-offered rates. A 1.75% rate in APR with no fees whatsoever. Call Interactive Mortgage now at 844-371-CASH. That's 844-371-CASH. 844-371-2274. Or visit interactivemortgage.com.
Windpoint Corporation, DBA Interactive Mortgage, Equal Housing Lender. Terms and conditions apply. New clients owned. Loan amount $350,000 to $548,250. Minimum FICO of 740 and maximum LTV of 60%. All loans subject to underwriting approval, and not all applicants will qualify. Loans made or arranged pursuant to California Finance Law License number 603F938. NMLS number 302352.
You've heard the phrase 1 in a million, right? What about 1 in 500? This is Leland Smith from Service Champions Plumbing, Heating, and AC, and it takes us about 500 candidates to find that one outstanding technician. When hiring, the first thing we do is make sure they're friendly. Then they have to pass the background check and the drug test. Next, we test for the right skills and work ethic, and finally we put them through a rigorous 14-week training course to learn the Service Champions way. In the end, we go through about 500 candidates to find that one outstanding technician. So when you open your door to a friendly, smiling Service Champions technician, you know you're looking at the best of the best. Call Service Champions today to schedule an $88 AC Precision tune-up. Our number is 833-777-7777, or find us online at servicechampions.com.
Service Champions Plumbing, Heating, AC, and good fees for free.
If you thought you missed the lowest mortgage rates in history, you're in luck because they're back. Mortgage rates are near historic lows again. So if you have a mortgage, refinance it and forget it. You'll never have to worry about refinancing again. Network Capital Funding is offering a low 15-year fixed rate at 1.75% with a 1.93 APR. Incredible! Network Capital has built a reputation for saving people time and money with our unique process that's fast, simple, and secure. Our 15-year fixed rate is 1.75% with a 1.93 APR. Second chances don't come often, and you may never see these rates again. So refinance it and forget it. That's a 15-year fixed at 1.75%. Yes, 1.75% with a 1.93 APR. Call the experts at Network Capital now. 800-5 800-500 number one hit. 800-500-1-HIT. As in home run. Call now and save big on your refi. 800-500-1-HIT. 800-500-1448. NMLS ID 11712. Not licensed in all states. Visit NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Licensed by the California Department of Financial Protection and Innovation and the Financing Law. Number 603D787. An equal opportunity lender. Rates subject to change and may not be available at rate law. Discount points may apply. Subject to credit approval. Call 800-500-1448 for additional cost information.
I was shopping online and looking at couches and chairs, and I came across vegan leather.
Oh, faux leather.
Faux leather.
Faux leather.
John and Ken. See, you don't like the sound of fake leather, so you change the first word to French.
Weekdays at 2 on KFI.
KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. It's the Bill Handel Show. Bill Handel recovering from heart valve replacement surgery. This is his second pig-derived heart valve. He had one put in about 10 years ago. They have a shelf life, these things. They're only good for about 10, maybe 15 years if you're lucky. And his got infected. So they really had to take it out, put another one in. And, oh, you know what? And this very nice woman who's a fantastic artist, Teresa Black, made this gorgeous get well card for Bill and wrote on the back of it, and it's fantastic, and you can see it. You have a couple of choices. You can see it at Come On and Farce on Twitter, or you can see it on Instagram at Bill Handel Show, and I put up both sides of it, so you can see the piece of art on the front, and you can see what she wrote on the back. It's very cool. And, Bill, get well as soon as you possibly can. Okay, now, on Friday, President Biden got onto a helicopter to go to Camp David for a vacation. And by Saturday morning, it was no vacation anymore. And the White House released photos of him sitting in that secure conference room that they have at Camp David. And he's teleconferencing with Vice President Harris and the national security team because, of course, he suddenly had a big mess on his hands, which is how to get everybody out of Afghanistan as quickly as possible. And we know what happened over the weekend. Basically, the Taliban took over the country. That's what happened. So, the first thing that happened is, uh-oh, we got big trouble over there, and he has to go into the secure conference room. Then later, Saturday night, Chuck Schumer's team invited other lawmakers to a meeting the next morning, Sunday morning, for a phone briefing. Hey, we want to tell you what's going on with this craziness in Afghanistan. So Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin is there, Anthony Blinken is there, Mark Milley is there, and they get their briefing. It was about an hour. And there were some questions, and some of the questions were nice softball questions, and other questions from other lawmakers were pretty antagonistic, as you might imagine. There were two details that came out of this thing that really struck a lot of the other senators. One of them is they didn't realize how many people they needed to get out of that country. 60,000 people eligible to be evacuated, and I guess the other lawmakers didn't realize it was so many. And here's the other thing. Back in June, when they were talking about doing this, they said the threat from some terrorist militant group like an Al-Qaeda setting up operations in Afghanistan and all of that is pretty low. We're not really that worried about it. Okay. So over the weekend, lawmakers getting the briefing, and they're told, well, it's a medium risk now. It's a medium risk, and there could be Al-Qaeda or other terrorist organizations operational in Afghanistan and an actual threat to us here in as little as 2 years from now. So that was the other thing that made the lawmakers on the call go, holy smokes! There's more people we got to get out than we thought, and the risk of Afghanistan returning to being a nation of terrorists is very higher than we thought.
matters is the result. Choose the law firm with the reputation and experience to win your case. Choose Jacoby and Myers. All right, let's do this.
You're a godsend, Ted Lasso.
Next one, no one.
Brilliant.
Wise hunt. Word is right. I believe in hope. I believe in belief. We're done for you folks. That's a little dramatic. I'll see how you got there.
Expertly tailored eye care. State-of-the-art eye exams, high-quality lenses and frames. Because everything we do at Lens Crafters is for every sight that makes your life special. Book your annual eye exam now. Lens Crafters, because sight.
If there's ever a summer to get away, this is it. And the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event is here to make it happen. Secure your deal and head to your Hyundai dealer today, where new vehicles are arriving daily, and get away with summer-only savings on all models. This is your summer to get away with it all. Hey, it's your journey. Own it. Lease the all-new 2022 Kona for $179 a month, or get 1.9% APR for 60 months. Only at your SoCal Hyundai dealer.
A decision that will determine the fate of California for the next year. Nikki Lorenzo and Frank Buckley ask the tough questions on the issues that matter to you. Inside California politics, the governor recall debate 5 and commercial free. Thursday at 7, only on KTLA-5. And traffic lights.
Here I say, there's not one outstanding signal. I don't want to jinx it, but that's what's happening on the 5 freeway. So it's the southbound side of Disneyland Drive, tends to be a busy spot anyway, and northbound side is always real crowded. But in this case, that southbound side of Disneyland Drive, you see that the carpool lane, let's see, carpool 2 left lanes are blocked here. But with all the units on scene, I mean, we're really hoping that everything will clear here in a little bit. This drive is pretty much sold out, as I mentioned. Northbound side is already jammed up. Now, we're looking at the Inland Empire, and you see all those red spots. I mean, most of the kids already went back San Bernardino, Riverside, right? But you see it, how the drive is filled in, and that earlier incident, 91 East and West and Imperial Highway done with, the westbound side, you almost breaks from more than 15. That will not recover in time for this morning's commute, especially because some of those fast track lanes were taken up. So I will watch all these things. Hopefully that signal will clear by the time we get to that stretch of the 5. It's all yours.
All right, thank you very much. And skies are starting to break up just a little bit over the Long Beach area. Today, we are talking about slightly cooler temperatures, and even cooler tomorrow. 75 this afternoon. The beach is 84 downtown. San Fernando Valley at 93 degrees. High desert's up to 97 degrees. It's already 79 degrees, but that's a little bit cooler than the 100s we were forecasting for yesterday. Inland Empire, 71 up to 94, and it's breezy in the Inland Empire, but also I should have mentioned the high desert gusts up to 50 miles per hour, and we do have a wind advisory that's on until 9 o'clock for the upper desert areas. Inland Empire gusts up to 25 miles an hour, 71 up to 94, 72 at the moment, Orange County Inland, and expected high of 5 degrees. Eric, back to you.
A Los Angeles man charged with murder in connection with a wrong-way collision in Encino's court appearance today. The Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office says 31-year-old Cesar Torres collided head-on with a tractor-trailer last Thursday night on the 101 freeway near the 405. The crash killed his 26-year-old girlfriend, Lily Garcia, and injured their 4 children. Prosecutors say he was trying to kill his children. He's charged with 1 count of murder, assault with a deadly weapon, and 4 counts each of attempted murder and child abuse. Torres is being held on $1 million bail.
Dozens of South LA families rallied in front of LAPD headquarters last night. They demanded justice after their homes were damaged by an explosives detonation that went wrong. The blast set off by the LAPD bomb squad. Injured residents and damaged property Doing 24, 995.
Affected families were told the city would pay for housing until the end of August, but their homes are still unavailable.
218, 1994.
Protesters say no one on the police force has been held accountable for the tragedy.
We still do not have the name or the team of officers and the supervisors that made the decision to detonate
218, 1994.
in a vehicle that can only sustain half. And so that is criminal negligence. We're trying to find out.
LAPD Chief Michael Moore says the bomb squad unit miscalculated the weight of fireworks that could be safely detonated inside of its armored vehicle. Meantime, the group also plans to hand-deliver a letter to Mayor Eric Garcetti's office requesting a guarantee that the city will continue to pay for housing until repairs are made on their homes.
I stand squarely behind my decision.
No,
20 years.
because the kid is dead.
That there was never a good time to withdraw U.S. forces.
No,
Had defended the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan as violence continues to escalate across the country.
Joining us with his insight on the latest developments and what's next, international law professor at USC, Jai Locke. Thanks so much for being with us this morning. As the president just said, years in Afghanistan, more than 6,000 American lives lost, trillions of dollars spent. So how could the Afghan government have fallen so quickly to the Taliban?
Yes, command, I agree with that.
There are a number of reasons, I think, which obviously caught our top military intelligence officials off guard. But they fell, really, when they were given signals over the last 6 months the United States was going to back out and stop supporting them as they had over the last 4 years. This was a stunning fall that occurred within 72 hours.
Anti-warning tree.
Well, had believed, the Afghan forces had somewhere in the range of 12 to 18 months to sustain itself. But it's a stunning fall. And part of this, frankly, is, lack of belief or will from the Afghan government and from the Afghan security forces due to belief in the United States and its military personnel and logistical support, which was already at a low point, was leaving, and from there, the country was ultimately overtaken extremely quickly.
President Biden talked about that the Afghan army just didn't fight despite all the training and support that they were given. And he also said he was kind of locked into a prior deal from the Trump administration. Do you agree with that defense of his decision?
Well, I'll say this, Eric, is that the way I would approach looking at Afghanistan, which I believe is a just tremendous moral geopolitical crisis of epic proportions, is that it goes beyond partisanship. While President Biden did deliver, a confident and somewhat even defiant defense of his decision, which really tracks with his predecessors, not only Trump, but Obama as well, in extricating the United States from the so-called forever war, the longest war in U.S. history. At the same time, what I think we saw in the speech, and which I found jarring, frankly, was a blame game of sorts. President Biden essentially blamed the Afghan government and Afghan security forces that we supported, with $83 billion over the last 20 years. That's just part of the $1 trillion that the United States has spent. And at the end of the day, ultimately, I think there was a lot of President Biden was seeking to cover and provide political cover for himself for a decision that was merited in ending this forever war, but definitely, made many mistakes along the way as far as this goes. I think that's undeniable, and it goes beyond partisanship. This is a crisis and
things for over the last 20 years with women and are potentially going to suffer tremendously. Not just women, but also many allies on the ground, active translators, personnel, that assist the United States and our allies, are potentially in peril. Taliban entered Kabul, peacefully, quote unquote. But we don't know what's going to happen in the coming days and weeks. It could be retaliatory and involve, mass execution even of allies on the ground in the United States, and that's why you saw such a scary image spread by the Afghan people, especially some that directly from the U.S. government to stabilize the country. And ultimately, that really is the crux of this issue. As Biden said, human rights is the center of our foreign policy. And if that is true, we have to do everything in our power not just to protect women and human rights abuses from occurring in that country, but guarantee that the inevitable flow of refugees from that country are hosted and not on the way. And that's a crisis that will unfold over the next few months, years, frankly.
We're almost running out of time here. One last question for you. The 20th anniversary of the September 11th attacks are less than a month away. And of course, Afghanistan was used as a training base for the 9/11 attackers. Do we have to worry about that sort of thing happening again there?
Well, it's a great question, Eric. I think really what we need to look at is that, not as I said, just a question about the fate really of women writ large under this new regime. It's not just the moral dimension, but the geopolitical dynamics of what this means. As you asked, there is a tremendous concern that Afghanistan could be again a breeding ground for terrorism. Absolutely. But the bottom line is that I think ultimately what we need to look at is there needs to be a sea change in the way U.S. foreign policy conducts itself. And this is a prime example. This is probably the greatest crisis that President Biden has faced. But a return to normalcy, which can be done domestically and abroad, I frankly think is not sufficient. And we are going to have to recalibrate not just our priorities, but recognize the limits of American power while still utilizing that power for good in specific cases. And those folks like Senator Chris Murphy and others that are forging that vision. And this should not be a partisan issue. This really ultimately is about forging what needs to be a reset and a recalibration of foreign policy that the U.S. undergoes. Because tremendous mistakes were made. To quote Reagan, and almost, that was the tone of Biden's speech, by Republican and Democratic presidents alike over the last 20 years.
Josh, we so appreciate your time and your expertise in all of this. Thank you again. Josh, yes, we hope to see you back in the studio really soon. Josh Lockman, he's an international law professor.
Still ahead, chilling screen for in a local neighborhood.
For deputies now asking for the public's help in tracking down the RV where those screens.
Plus, a rat infestation at a local high school. The campus that had to remain shut down on what was supposed to be the first day of in-person instruction.
And you know him from The Handmaid's Tale, actor O.T. Fagbenley, joins us live to talk about his Emmy nomination.
Plus, chance of showers in your forecast. Plus, will be up next with a check of your weather. Traffic is brought to you by Spectrum Mobile. That's it. Switching the Spectrum. Don't switch. Boats. I'm done with you. What you gonna do? Run the Spectrum? Somebody says Spectrum? Oh, hey, Karen. Tony, Spectrum doesn't go out in the rain like satellites. And you can finally get rid of that old dish on your roof. And the Spectrum TV app lets you watch TV on all your devices, big and small. Get Spectrum TV, just $44.99 a month with no contract. Ask about sports like NFL Network and Red Zone. Call 1-833-732-4499.
Yeah,